Good morning. I've got to turn on my Do Not Disturb. Do Not Disturb. We're looking at Faraday, which Sherry brought up yesterday and is doing quite well. Crazy. Crazy how well it's done. We also, GNS was one. We're looking at Mara. Mara closed at $9. It's opening up down. Traded all the way up to $9.12 yesterday. We looked at PLRX, which was a purchase. This one, Plant Therapeutics, it's up again today. It closed at $30.28. Yesterday, it went all the way up to $36.50 at its high. Crazy day. Crazy day. But GNS is one that hlbz, hlbz is one that looks like it's squeezing as well, but it's coming back down. 38 cents. This is a scooter company, I found out. GNS is the big one. This one ran all the way up to $6.28 yesterday. Yeah, my only problem with SQQQ is that, and don't go by the day. I mean, I'll kind of look at your comments are well taken, but for day trading, yes. But remember, these are the days where you want to buy for long term as well, any of the pullbacks. We'll head over to our scan system. And I've got, just be forewarned, I do have a dog that is maybe sick. She kind of cried like she had some issues. So I'm not sure. But hit that thumbs up button. Just remember to hit that thumbs up button. We're going to go into our scans now to try and see if we can find some stocks to play. After yesterday, my expectation would be that we will find a bunch of stocks that crossed up. Brokerage holdings, my personal portfolio, nothing. The active trade, the daily stock picks core investment list, which you get access to if you sign up for TrendSpider, Costco, and Simon Property Group. I mean, Costco was a no-brainer. It's crossed its 200-day. Time to get in under the 500-day, which I would have gotten in at this 450. You got your ex-dividend date coming up. I'll do a look at this one. Simon Property Group as well. Wish I would have gotten in lower. It's a double cross-up. Significant run here since September. You're down at 90, and today you're at 120. So, Pupper is. I'm hesitant to play vet, but I think she's got a back injury, and she's had it all her life. So I don't think that it's anything new. It's just something that I probably should address, just don't want to. I've had a dog with a back injury before, and the pain recovery, and it's just a nightmare for the dog. But Venom or Viper had a cross-up, secondary cross-up, I think. Let's put it into the strategy yesterday. This is the only one in the energy look that had a cross-up yesterday. But 31.40, and we're trading at 32.70. You got earnings coming up February 21st. So, doggy edibles are possible, but I kind of think, she has so many. This is the dog that got dumped in a dumpster, so I'm tempted to just make her happy. I mean, edibles are a thing that probably would make her happy, but She doesn't always need that. Okay, the energy sector is done. Let's look at levered ETFs. If anything got a cross up. UMDD, the mid-cap 400, and URTY, which is the Russell 2000. We'll put those in. UMDD and URTY. Now let's look at levered ETF, low-cost Vanguard ETFs, VO and VB. VB, we'll take a look at those. Let's look at spider sectors. Anything cross up? Nothing in the spider sectors crossed up. My personal watch list, which I don't give you access to just because it's kind of risky. I mean, this is American Eagle Outfitters, which I've held. I have since sold. I bought at 21, sold in December around this price, 13. Before it didn't cover this gap, and that's probably what it's going to cover at 13. So CRISPR, which is a genomic sequencer that is in the ARK funds. Beyond Meat crossed up. If you were one of the lucky ones that bought this around $200 a share. Morning, Sherry. Your Fisker or Fiserv, what is it? Hold on. I have it up here. Faraday. Faraday's doing well, Sherry. You're at 89 cents. It went all the way up to 98 cents yesterday, right before close. But it had here. This is what's crazy, Sherry, and thank you for pointing this one out. I'm bringing it up. But it had confirmation the entire day, and it's just lost its confirmation. But if we zoom in and just look at, I'm going to bring this back. Oh, come on. Oh, move. It doesn't want to move. There we go. Grabbed it. At this candle, which is 9:02 a.m. I don't know why it's doing 9:02. It should be 9 o'clock. But it's under the 9-day. 2 million shares already today. It's got 55 million shares out there. Beyond Meat. So here's an interesting one, and we'll put this into the strategy tester, into the algorithm. Beyond Meat crossed up. You had a cross up here at $12, and you're at $16 right now. It's been a crazy, crazy good run. The problem that you have is the last time it broke this 200-day, and it broke it fairly big, was here around 35, went all the way up to 41, and then it just lost it. And it just completely lost it. Around earnings, it's still losing money, still can't make money. And so when you're breaking the 200-day, I don't think that golden cross, even though the 50-day is about to cross it, it just doesn't seem strong to me. And if we look at the daily, let's just look at the weekly. I mean, look at that. It's kind of gotten its legs here on a weekly. Doesn't have enough weeks, by the way, to do a 200-day. That's why you're not seeing that. And the 9 days kind of crossing the 21, but it's still so far away from the 50-day. And if we look at this volume, and I'm just going to bring the volume level back, let's just say to January of last year. Look, they're holding it at 23. That's the next volume shelf. But by far the majority of people are holding it between 13 and 15. So the fact that you crossed up today on the algorithm, and it's a secondary cross up, so your RSI is still super, super high. but it does look like it has the button hook, and then it's going for a second leg. You could see a shoulder, a head, an inverse head and shoulders, and then a shoulder here, which means that you're going for another breakout. You could see that, but it's not making money. I mean, that's the danger of it. I'll bring it up. You know what? It's a meme rally stock, so I think let me bring it up. I'll bring it up. What the hell? Let's go back to scans. And Simon Property Group, which is we're looking at my personal watch list. Plug, which is a EV stock, which has had a crazy run here from 12 to 17. A lot of these have had crazy runs. And because my watch list is typically pretty not necessarily what you want to invest in, let's say. ARK. I didn't realize ARK Fund, by the way, is up 25% year to date. Take 2U. I don't even know what 2U is. LHY. I don't like that chart. I don't like that one. Lockheed Martin. They just reported earnings. You could get this gap fill up here between 453 and 460. It's a 5% move. I don't know that again, defense is just, their earnings were good, but I think they said the CEO used a very specific word about guidance. Nano dimension. I think this is a 3D printer or something. CRISPR again. HPQ, which is interesting. That's in a wedge going up to 30. You could see 10% in this one its earnings are coming up later next month. Still don't see a huge. Let's see. HPQ. Let's look at this one. Oh, stop. HPQ. PE of 9, which is pretty low. Earnings per share 10%. You're 31% below your 52-week high. 18% above your 52-week low. So the risk is the beta is only 1. If you want to know what beta is, Investopedia.com. Performance year to date, you're up 6%, which is good. You got a 3.67% dividend. November 18th, downgrade. They didn't put a price target. Downgrade Loop Capital down to $29, $30. So it's trading right around where people think that it will. Here's a Motley Fool article from just last week. 3 stocks that you could read. We're going to get rid of that. Below average valuations. There is, and it's going to make me, it doesn't even put them in the headlines. RH, HP, HPQ, and Paramount Global. Paramount Global's interesting. Jim Cramer. He was on there talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. They look good. I'm worried about them. I hate the fact that the Eagles won. And if they win the Super Bowl, that douche is going to be on there all over the place. Just, ugh. And don't be the guy. Don't ever be the guy that says we when you don't play the game, when you don't own the team, when your decision means nothing. Because you show up at the game, it's not we. If you're at every game and you're down in the stands and you're paying for season tickets, yeah, you can say we. If you're a guy who goes to the luxury suite because you're friends with the owner, you go to some games, not every game. Don't say we. This is the NASDAQ 100, by the way. eBay has been a monster. Just a monster move off this once it covered this gap. Covered this gap. Covered that gap. And it's still above the 9-day. This has been a monster move. What's eBay's PE? They're still not making money. They have a 1.85% dividend. Year to date up 14%. Not a great chart here. Let's look at a weekly of eBay. You could be looking at the 200-day on that. I mean, it is a better business. I mean, pre-COVID, you're looking at probably a $40 stock. And then, you know, there was the holiday time, which was bad right before COVID. $35 stock, but you're at $46 right now. I'm going to bring it up. eBay, run a little, though. But weekly looks like $50 stock. I like that one. SGen. CGen. Boop, 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 boop. Boy, that gap looked like... The problem is... I don't like this one. Costco we have. MCHP microchip. Chips have been crazy. ADP. I just got my 1099 form from my employer. I'm going to delete this. Alert. ADP. They did well by me. Picard is up 3% pre-market. Earnings. They popped. They have a 3-for-2 split coming up. Is that a catalyst? Interesting. Let's pull back to the last pop. This is where everybody's holding it. I don't like it. I don't know what they do. Let me see. PCAR. 13 PE, 1% dividend, up 3% year to date. Industrials, farm, and heavy construction equipment. Let me look at their designs, manufactures, distributes light, medium, and heavy duty commercial trucks. Truck parts and financial services. So they're like a GM of trucks. Record annual revenues and net income. The last one, downgrade credit streets to $105. Wolf Research down to $89. I'm not going to recommend that one. Not when you're trading at 102. PayX. This is a payment. Paychecks. I don't like this business. Predatory, in my opinion. ADI, analog devices. No. I mean, it's got a huge triangle, but you got to break out of it to get to 170. No, it's too expensive. Let's go to the S&P 100. And then we'll go to the energy sector. S&P 100. Let's scan. We're going to Lockheed Martin, Costco, Simon Property Group, and Mosaic. Altria. I should say Altria, not Mosaic. I thought there was an S there. Altria I hate. This is the vaping. Dude, do I do the vaping group? I mean, they've got this gap up here at 52. Are they making money? The bros make the money. Their P, oh my God, they have an 8.39% dividend. Morning, Justin. God. By the way, Sherry, if you get on the jury, always guilty. Always guilty. I was on 2 juries in my life. One was a woman who got hit by a sheriff's vehicle transporting prisoners. And the other one was very short. I forget it. I was super young. But the one where the woman, it was a 4-day trial for a woman who was not very high in life, I should say, high status in life. She definitely had some substance issues. She had some troubles, and she hired an attorney who was basically an ambulance chaser. And I remember when she came up to testify, the smell of smoke that I got off of her was horrific, just horrible. And we talked about that in the jury room as well. But it was interesting because they kept us there for 4 days. It took us all of 10 minutes to come up with a not guilty plea of, the state. We didn't, I think we were told, hey, you have to come up with, first off, was the state liable? And we said no. And so the second one didn't even matter. But what was interesting was this poor guy, I think he was 82 years old, probably shouldn't have been driving, but seemed coherent. The actual act had happened like 2 years beforehand. And the guy gets up on the stand, and he said she appeared out of nowhere on a highway. It's like Route 1. Think of, your local kind of 2-lane or 4-lane highway with a median in the center with a bunch of lights. And he was driving, and all of a sudden she just appeared, and he glanced off her because he had swerved out of the way. And he started crying. And when he was telling the story, just super empathetic guy. And he said he still has nightmares about it. And the lawyer for the state asked him, did she do this willfully? And there was an objection, obviously. And the judge allowed it go through. And he said, I'm pretty sure she hit the side of my van, that I didn't touch her. And she had refused medical treatment and then decided to go the next day for medical treatment. She was super drunk. They had found even the next day that she was when the police report said they didn't do a breathalyzer, but she was heavily intoxicated and they had taken her to the hospital. They didn't take any blood because legally they couldn't or something. She wasn't charged with anything or something happened. And the next day they took her blood and there was a whole bunch of drugs and alcohol and things. I felt bad for her, but it was clear the lawyer was an ambulance chaser, and the judge came in afterwards and said, I am so sorry you had to be here for 4 days. You couldn't tell this, but I was screaming at the defense attorney that this isn't a 4-day trial. This is all of a 2-hour trial. And he continued to ignore me. So it was interesting. So, Sherry, get ready for a 2-hour trial that may turn into 4 days. Let's see. Where is, I want to see, I'm looking at GNS. I just have a feeling about GNS kind of like yesterday, where you open up kind of light, but then you start taking off. Because it like the current candle is between 455 and 437, and it's trading at 455. So going into open, it's getting some confirmation here. And the Bollinger Bands are cinching up pretty close. I mean, I'll show you what's going on right here. But who's got... LA Criminal Court. Oof. Oofa. 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 I got my scans. I got the whole podcast down. I'm just kind of looking at this one. start here, but I do think that GNS has some mojo here. And that's when should I go for Boyle and KOLD? Is it Altria? Yeah. Yeah, it's a 8.39% dividend here. I mean, I'd agree with you, Christian. The problem that I have with Altria is, do I really want to contribute to... I mean, the only reason people smoke is because of addiction. Yeah, they enjoy it. And yeah, the bros who go shirtless with their vapes. Half the vapes, I mean, let's be honest, half the vaping is marijuana. It's not even, jewels. But do I want to contribute to that by investing in it? And I don't mean by, there are some things that you invest in that you don't necessarily ethically agree with. But this is one where there's no good that comes of this. None. Zero. I mean, what's the good news about investing in this? Other than you're taking advantage of people who probably are not doing the right thing to their bodies. And it is funny because every time I drive from Atlanta to New Jersey in Richmond, I pass that big, and if you've ever been in Richmond, there's a big smokestack with Altria Group. And I think it's a Marlboro stack. I kind of forget, but it's shaped like a cigarette and it's painted like a cigarette. And I think it's Altria Group. But I think about it each time I pass. I'm like, why would you be proud of that as a city? But I guess, again, employers are different. Wow, Dow's down 153 points expected to be. I agree with you from an investment standpoint. I mean, hold on. I'm going to run it through. Let's see what the algorithm says. Because the algorithm usually gives me my best look at, okay, where are we buying and where are we selling? And I think you're right. Between 40 and 45, I think you buy the hell out of this one. Take the dividend and run. Maybe you even... I'm going to reload this one. Default workspace. Strategy tester. There we go. Boom, boom. Run. Where's that sound effect? Run. I got to get out of the strategy tester and get back in. Run. There we go. And I can't move it back. Let's look at a weekly. Because if we're trading this weekly, I think you're right. Because if I go back to 2019 and I touch 3 points and I touch 3 points, you're kind of looking at that range between 54 and 41, and you're down below the 40, the 9-day and the 21-day. The 50-day is over the 200-day. It is a dying business, but take the dividend of 10% and trade it in this range. I think you're right, between 45 and 40. I like the strategy, but hate the business. Just hate the business. By the way, the one that we need to watch today fairly closely is Microsoft. They report after the bell. And this will be your guide as to backing up the Brinks truck on tech or holding off. Because if you didn't know, and I'll bring it up, Google, they had a all-employee meeting last night. and the CEO just got lambasted. And I will, as somebody who's been through 3 companies that laid off multiple and large amounts of people, I will tell you, the first time you get laid off, you're like, oh my God, the company's horrible. Then you kind of take a step back and you realize, hey, the company doesn't necessarily care about you. You're just, you should be a profit center for the company. You provide a benefit to the company provides a benefit for you. So you need to be the best employee that you can be. If they decide that that's not a good employee, that's their decision to make, not yours. You can say, I tried my best, I did everything that I could, and I gave you everything. Well, if you feel that way, you're probably giving them too much. And you should find a company that values you a little bit more. That's all that a layoff is that you need to find a company that values you more. And whether that be your own company, whether that be another company, it's up to you. But that's kind of my feeling on it. I don't think the company owes you anything. And for these people to say, well, a lot of these people are longtime Googlers and they were insulted by the way that you did this. And then, the head of security comes on. What do you want us to do? Give them a 2-week, 3-week, 4-week notice and then have the possibility of some type of intrusion into someone's personal email, into some type of code layer that could be susceptible to the business as a whole? Or do we just, cut off their access and give them their severance package, which is quite generous in my mind. It's shocking when you get laid off, and it's insulting, and it's whatever. Let me take off my shirt and take a hit of my vape. I'm an old guy, man. I'm telling you, I don't defend business. I hate corporations, and I hate the way they treat employees. And I don't think over my career I was treated super, super well. But I also know I probably wasn't the greatest employee. I probably was early in my career when I definitely made the company significantly more than I got back. And make no mistake, I made companies a lot of money that I don't think a lot of other people could have made them. So I definitely, made my money, but when the company, Earthlink, my personal opinion of Earthlink, I don't mind Earthlink. I don't think they do anything bad. I just don't, when they decided to put me into a position where I wasn't super, super happy, it kind of signaled the end. Probably wasn't the best employee for the last, couple of years or so. No. Brandon, when I am looking to buy a stock and I am looking at a limit order, and GNS is a great example, I look at a 1-minute chart. And the reason I look at a 1-minute chart, and you can bring up, I don't have it on here. Let me see if options chain. I think that's the one I want. Let's see. Let's link this to the gray. So for instance, let's look at BAC. Is this the one that I want? Yeah, this is the one that I want. So for instance, I look at these. So this is an options chain, and this is Bank of America. And if I'm looking to buy this one, let me pull this back a little bit so we can see it. I'm looking at the bid and ask. So the bid right now is 312. The ask is 318. I go over here to the options chain, and I say, okay, where's the biggest one? It's 33.50 for the puts, and it's $34. So I'm really looking between $33 and $34. So I will probably put and this is the put side, and this is the call side. So they're calling for it between $33.50 and $34. in my mind, I would put in an order for 33.50 on this one and just hope that it hits during the day. That's kind of where I'm at when I look at this. And again, the options are just a way to look at this. The options chain, and they're expiring January 27th, so Friday. This is the options expiring Friday. If you want to go out a little bit further, that's typically what I'm doing in investment stuff. That's kind of where I'm looking. But you can see it's got, yeah. I mean, it's definitely being brought down to 33.50 at some point today. So I could chase it, but that's where I typically get in trouble. And for instance, Oxy's a good example. I think I chased that one a ton. And I just get in trouble, and I chase it up. Typically, I chase it up. And when I chase it down, I wind up missing crap. So GNS had confirmation, lost it. So the Bollinger Band synced up right here to 440. It went up to 458 and then lost it. And I'm on a 1-minute chart. So, and Brandon, I am sure there is a better way of buying like that. But remember, I'm not this isn't day trading. I'm just looking at the charts. I'm not necessarily looking at the options. I'm talking about investment purposes. That's where I kind of look at those options. There's an order flow, I think, too. Trade. Let me see. I don't want my accounts. I don't want you guys seeing my accounts. Alerts, charts. Here, they have a probability calculator here in Active Trader Pro. We can link this to a great tool. Oh, did this just freeze? There's a profit loss calculator. I mean, Active Trader Pro has so much crap. Really need a course on this. I took a course on Active Trader Pro. What? What? They had to have something come out. Something happened with XOM. Jesus, that's unexpected. They probably announced something. Let me see. I didn't see any news on XOM. Downgrade, red burn, neutral, sell, but that was done. Zacks. That's from yesterday, but I don't see. Let's see. See, Zacks usually doesn't say anything. Did they announce some type of earnings thing? I don't know what the hell's going on with XOM. Let's see. Let's Google. Let's say 23 hours. Let's look at news. I don't see. I mean, tools. Let's look in the sort by date. Oh. Probably this. Oxbow Advisors lowers its holding by 7.3% in the third quarter. Could that have been 10% move in the stock? I don't know. It makes no sense. Oh, it's halted. Exxon is halted. Boy, this ain't good. A 10% drop and then halted. Although I will tell you, wow, Verizon popped up too. I knew I should have bought Verizon under 40. Oh God, what happened with Wells Fargo? I didn't sell it. Oh, it's not real prices. Oh, if you can buy, Jim Cramer saying, if you can buy Wells Fargo, buy it because it's not a real price. Wells Fargo is halted. Boy, there's something wrong with the stock market. Union Pacific halted. Guys, if you're not tuned in to see fucking General Jim Cramer going, why wouldn't you sell? Why wouldn't you sell? And then, everybody's telling him in his ear, you can't. It's halted. He's saying, so the prices are wrong. Essentially, so something happened. We're going to find out something. Either there's some type of software glitch. There's some type of attack. It's interesting because did somebody maliciously get into this? Exxon is back up. Jim Cramer is saying, why don't you sell? Why don't you sell? I can imagine Jim Cramer running a fucking hedge fund and you working for him and him taking you into the office and going, why didn't you buy McDonald's at $2.48? Douche. Nah, this happens from time to time where there's something that goes wrong. Essentially, I think it's like they're saying it's just bad market data. And that happens from time to time. I mean, Verizon at 42. You look at Verizon stock. And let's go over to Active Trader Pro. Wells Fargo is still halted. XOM, I think, opened back up, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, XOM opened back up. I mean, they're down at 110. That's where they were. Then you have Verizon, which I think is still halted. Nope, Verizon's down at 38, so they opened back up 39. That's where it was. But you have bad market data. So I would expect to see the market down after this. No, it's not. It's not 40. I don't think it's not 40. I mean, shit. If you can buy it at 40, buy it at fucking 40. It's kind of like Jim Cramer said, I'd be buying Wells Fargo. They had a great quarter. I don't understand this, blah, blah, blah. Look at Ford. I think is Ford halted as well? I had to restart Active Trader Pro because my data is fucked up here as well. Let me restart Active Trader Pro because Active Trader Pro is acting really funny. I am going to quit Active Trader Pro. Yes. Yeah. Verizon opened back up, and I was like, somebody said something about Verizon, and I saw it at 42, and Verizon, and I said their quarter wasn't that good. The quarter wasn't bad, but it wasn't that good. Yeah. I mean, Verizon is one that, shit, what did we say Verizon? 32, 33? I mean, wait till you see the algorithm on this one. I think my data was bad on Active Trader Pro. 37 on Verizon. And you're at 38 now. But look, the algorithm got you out. But look at this fucking candle. This candle is the lowest 32, the highest 44. On Verizon, that's a 13% period range. That's crazy. That's just bad data. Exchange-related issues is what they're saying. So the New York Stock Exchange. I think it sounds like the New York Stock Exchange. Doesn't look like the NASDAQ is affected. No, I think we're good. They'll open back up, and they'll open back up at regular stuff. There probably are some orders that went through. For sales at high prices, for people that bought at high prices. Probably some things that shouldn't have gone on. Ford doesn't look like it's halted. But it looks like Exxon's back at normal range. Ford looks like it's on its downward trajectory down to 11. Let's look at XOM. Seeing sometimes when my data is not running very optimally. Just look at XOM. Yesterday, it looks like it didn't even move yesterday. I mean, today the day range is between 99 and 126. And that's all within this one candle, this 1 minute candle. We're going to do 5 minute candles. Exxon doesn't do good on 1 minute candles. You can see how small those candles are. We'll do 5 minute candles. See, even those don't move a ton on Exxon. Let's take a look. Is Faraday still, is this over $1? Nope, 93. It's got confirmation though. Faraday does. God, and it's traded. This one could be in for a good day, by the way. You're at 12 million shares traded so far in the first 15 minutes. And you only traded 55 million over the past 10 days. So you could be looking at a pretty good day right there. GNS is the one that I think could really pop. You're at 449, but you really don't have any confirmation right now that you're going to have a good day, but you're at 8 million shares in the first 15 minutes. And you've got 69 million shares trading. This is one, by the way, that only has a float of 10 million shares. Knowing me, I'd be the guy that buys at the beginning of the flash crash. So, hey, guys, buy Google. And then all of a sudden, Google's down from 98 down to 55 within the next 10 minutes. I don't have that kind of luck. It's typically why I'm not day trading a lot. I typically am more of a swing trader. Somebody asked me about Boyle. I think it was Cooper last night asked me about Boyle. And Boyle is one, I've said it. It kind of shot up yesterday in close to the end of the day. All the way here from 9:30 up to almost $11. And it just had this run from the midday to the end of the day. And it continued that run. And then it came right back down. I think it's probably going to hit 9:30 again at some point in time today. It's got no confirmation whatsoever. It's in that downward spiral spin. Look at the Bollinger Bands, how cinched up they are at the open. We talk about 5-minute candle here, and it's on the downside, and it's cinching up. So what would I do? I mean, if this is again day trading, look at KOLD, because this is the inverse, and KOLD, whereas yesterday, we'll take a look at a 2-day. Yesterday midday, it had the crash. This is the exact opposite. It trades higher. I mean, it trades at $40, but you got the confirmation above the 9-day right now. And the Bollinger Bands are syncing up. So at 40, say you buy at $40.92. You're at the top end of that 5-minute candle right now, but you're up 5%. So, yeah, let's take a look. Did Wells Fargo open back up? Yeah. Imagine buying Wells Fargo at let's see this candle, 38.10 at 9:30, and you're at 44 right now. That by the way, if you're on, remember, hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up on YouTube. I got to start the podcast too because my ass doesn't want to be here at 11 o'clock, even though I probably will be. Tomorrow I can't be. Manufacturing PMI index. Okay, what am I going to look at? INBS. What's INBS? This one had, I checked out Warrior Trader, and he said this one was his 256% gain yesterday. Probably had it. But see, he always shows you afterwards. That's my problem with a lot of these guys is they just show you afterwards. Let's look up. We're going to go to Earnings Whisper. Tomorrow is Wednesday. And we've got American Airlines, Valero, MasterCard, JetBlue, Southwest, Nokia, Nucor, Blackstone, Archer Daniels, Tractor Supply, Comcast. Okay. No, live earnings reports are never fun. I mean, the media covers that so much better than I would. Because they get the freaking, they have the algos and they have seven or eight producers that are reading those headlines, and they're just better than I am. Cleveland Cliffs is taking a hit today. Moderna's taking a hit today. It's not taking a hit today. Tesla up again. Snowflake up again. Shopify up again. Qualcomm up again. Palo Alto Networks up again. Oxy's taking a hit, 1.3%, down to 65. What the hell's up with that candle? Oh, was Oxy halted? Oxy may have been, yeah, Oxy was halted. Oxy's one of the ones that was halted. That's an 11% candle period. Oh, here. Safari view. You got this. This one went all the way up to 74. Whoa. Have fun at jury duty, Sherry. FFIE. $1.04. Whew. Remember yesterday when Sherry said, hey, it's at 70 cents? And Gary was like, maybe you want to get out of this one? There's another BXRX. Look at that. $3. It's at 623. You know, GNS is going to get that pump, I think, today. Again. $4.38. Grom, this is one. I think this is one of the short ones, too. We don't want Tesla. We want Grom. Sherry, high five. Sherry just reached legendary status in the group. Grom is one that's lost its way. Oof. Boy, it's a great trade, Sherry. And this still has confirmation. Here, take a look at a 5-day. This is what I want you to look at. Look at the volume this morning. So you got a volume pump here. You kind of lost it. Then you get a volume pump in the morning here. You didn't have a real volume pump here. Yesterday, when Jerry pointed it out to us, total volume pump throughout the day. Today, total volume pump. I mean, take a look at those candles. And you're at $1.02. Let's see what the float is on FFIE. You're trading 55 million shares. 245 million. It says there's 34% short. Oh, wrong screen. That's the one I was looking at. I gotta do the podcast, man. Holo rising fast. I'm gonna do podcast. Screw you people. I'm going home. Good morning. It is Tuesday, January 24th, and we just had everyone's heart stop over bad data from, it seemed like the New York Stock Exchange. Exxon, Wells Fargo, Verizon, McDonald's, pumped, dumped, went all over the place. Bad data. General Jim Cramer is on going, buy this stock. You should buy this stock. I don't understand why Wells Fargo is at $40. Buy it. Everybody on set is screaming at him, you can't buy it, dude. It's halted. And he's like, buy it. You should buy it. Why shouldn't you? But you should buy it at 40. He's going to be online saying, I told people to buy it at 40 and it was a mistake, and it was clearly a mistake. If you didn't get in, it's your own fault. Douchebag. Imagine working for that douche at like a hedge fund or something, and he yells at you for not buying it. Ugh. Now, here's one point. Sherry in our YouTube Live, she's joined for the past couple of days. She gets legendary status right now for Faraday Future Intelligence Electric Inc., FFIE. This is a micro cap stock, $450 million in market cap. And it's been pumping. Yesterday, she pointed it out to us at 70 cents, 70 cents. Your boy here, the boomer, said, God, when it got to 80 cents, Sherry, just be careful. Just be careful. Well, you know what? Sherry got those diamond hands. She gets legend status. Today it's at $1.02. It traded all the way up to $1.05, and it's still up there. It's trading outside the Bollinger Bands right now at 9:55 in the morning. Absolute legend status. Another one that kind of pump and dump, I think. But I was looking at a YouTube channel called Warrior Trading on and the guy's really popular, sells courses, has some incredible insights into some stuff, trades options, trades on margin, is very risky in some of the things that he does. INBS, which is Intelligent Biosolutions. He said he had a 225% gain yesterday. I kind of believe it. It's a big pump and dump one. You can see the volume here. Look at that volume all of a sudden. He may have caught that volume, and that's this morning and yesterday. It's basically 3 ones. So again, you can find these. GNS is one that traded all the way up to $6 yesterday. I watched Ziptrader last night, and it went to $6.28 yesterday. It's trading at $5.11 right now. In fact, I may pause this and try and buy some on the way up because I do think that this one gets a pump. I think a lot of these shorts right now are getting pumped up. So GNS is at $4.84. It does have some confirmation on a 5-minute chart. So does Faraday. So does a lot of these shorts are just getting pumped. Bed Bath & Beyond is getting pumped up. He labeled Ziptrader Charlie, said there were 3 that kind of met his criteria. There was GNS. The only reason they got pumped up was they announced shorts. They're attacking short sellers. Then you have Verb, VERB, which is Verb Technology Company. He says he likes nouns better. I like that joke. But he said Verb is kind of on the same thing. Your 10-day volume, 16 million shares. And I'm going to switch over to Active Trader Pro so you can see this. 16 million shares on a 10-day volume. Your 90-day is 3 million shares. So far today, just today, you've got 22 million shares traded. So you've got a quite a bit of movement in this stock. It's on the downside. The Bollinger Bands are high. You don't have any confirmation whatsoever. Make no mistake, this is not a company that you're investing in. This is just a short squeeze play that you're hoping that people can't buy stock and that people will hold on to it. hlbz. This is a scooter company. They're losing money. Do not be mistaken. They are up 21% today. They're trading at 51 cents. Days ranges between 39 cents and 52 cents. You've got confirmation on this one. They basically said that they hired the same firm that GNS did. INBS is the same thing. And this is Warrior Trading. And Ziptrader Charlie brought it up. This is a short trade squeeze. Right now, you're up 22%. You're at $1.25 on INBS. So I do think that you have these short squeezes that are coming into play. These are companies that are not making money. These are companies basically that have floats that are fewer shares than what's being traded. And so you're getting this volume pump. So I think those are again, FFIE. I don't exactly know what's going on with FFIE, but it's pumping. INBS, GNS, VERB, and hlbz. He also says watch Mullen. Now, I've talked about Mullen, how Mullen is a worthless stock. They basically get graphic designers to design cars, throw out those, and it's just a pump and dump. That's all it is. Your 10-day volume is 213 million shares. Your 90-day is 192. So you do have some type of pump on this one. Do not be surprised if for some reason Mullen comes out and says, we're looking into short selling as well. And you see this go from 30 cents to 60 cents. I don't know that it's necessarily going to be that way, but it does seem over the past week or so, these short squeezes are getting played. Some retail traders are getting involved again. And essentially, Carvana is one as well, CVNA, which is the sponsor of this podcast, if you listen on Spotify. If it's a different sponsor, let me know. But Carvana is at $7.11. It's down 1% today. The day range is between $6.91 and $7.56. But this a couple of days ago was down in the $6.30 range. So there's some things out there. Again, this is an investment. This is basically momentum trading. And you can make money momentum trading. Sometimes it's in options. Sometimes it's in stocks. But just be careful, because these guys who tout, like Warrior Trader, touting all of the money that they made on a trade, it's not realistic. You can try and do it. I wouldn't go very large in size. My advice when I used to day trade was, if I can make 10%, I'm perfectly happy. If I lose 5%, I'm out, and I can get back in. You lose 5%, you get back in. Once you see confirmation, take your 10%, because you're only risking 5% to make 10%. And 10% is just the goal. If all of a sudden you're up 20%, if all of a sudden you're up 50%, if you don't lose that confirmation, don't get out. That's why Sherry's legendary status. She held it in. And Faraday, let's check it right now. Faraday is at 101. So it's losing some of its steam. I have no doubt in my mind Sherry's still holding. She's good like that. So let's get back to some of the actual business. Verizon announced they were held up in the they had some bad data. And ironically, I took a look at my screen and I said, God, Verizon, man, why didn't I buy this? It went all the way up to $45. Right after earnings. They must have said something on the earnings call. They didn't. It was bad data. And you're looking at this one candle that is between $32 and $44. That's a huge, enormous move. It's been told by the New York Stock Exchange that it was bad data, so we're not trusting it. If we do have a cross-up, we might have to take a look at it. It doesn't look like we will. Right now it's trading at $38. The algorithm got us in at $37, got us out with a 6% gain just before earnings. But you had this one all the way up at $42. I have no doubt in my mind it's coming back down to this 200-day at $38.77. I think you could put in that buy. But I do think at some point in time this year, that's up at 42. I mean, again, you're in a fairly decent market. You're just getting pulled back a little bit. There is this gap here between 44 and 45. Some point you fill it. So if you want to buy a good company that you don't mind holding on to, right at its 200-day value, and you get a 6.59% dividend during that time. Lockheed Martin, LMT is the symbol. They announced there was some funky stuff that went on with this earnings. They asked him about the current political environment, and the CEO said, yeah, it's mixed. Kind of, and he used some other words that I can't really remember, but they kind of beat, and they were super upbeat. Now, you do have this gap here between 453 and 460. If you want to invest, you're at a time of war between Russia and Ukraine. This is a defense stock. You're probably going to get a raise in the debt ceiling. You're going to get some type of increase in defense spending, and Lockheed Martin's going to pop. It's got a 2.72% dividend. You're down 10% year to date, and that's because last year was pretty good for the stock. You got a double bottom here, about 380. Your 52-week range is between 365 and 498. You're kind of right in the middle, more on the high side of that, right at 445. I'm not super excited by it, but I never have been. It's not one that I typically invest in. One of my core portfolios, and one that's ironically up marginally today, is Apple. Apple is in talks with Disney and other VR content providers, signaling a headset release, which could be announced on earnings next week. if this is being leaked. Because typically when you leak shit like that, a product gets sold, a product gets announced. So here you have the 200-day right at 143. We haven't crossed the 200-day since October. In October, you crossed it up, but you came right back down. Back in August, you crossed it, you came right back down. But we're on a pretty legendary run. And I got a question yesterday from a listener. Hey, I got into Apple at 120, 127, 125, somewhere in that neighborhood. Should I sell it? I got my 10%. My guidance to that listener was, hey, that's not for me to decide. That's for you to decide. Me, I wouldn't sell Apple. Again, you have to determine, the first thing is it in a brokerage account or is it in a retirement account? Completely different things. Retirement account, there is no tax implications. You can buy and sell whenever you want. Whenever you want. There is no tax implications until you take that out. If it's in a Roth, there's no tax implications ever because you've paid the taxes going in. So the first thing is, if it's in a brokerage account, then you have to decide, do I want to hold this for a year? Because there's a huge difference between long-term capital gains and short-term capital gains. Short-term capital gains, you are paying your top percentage of whatever income bracket you are. Because these are some of the first ones or the last ones that you pay taxes on. So for instance, if you're in a 20% tax bracket and you're selling this short, then you're paying 20% taxes on this. Why not hold it for a long term and only pay 15%? Because the 5% that you lose, you may be able to gain. Again, 120, anything with a 1-2 handle on Apple, I think is legendary. I think their earnings come out. I think they do bad. And I think they bounce off this 200-day at 43. But I think they come down to the 130s. I don't think you're coming down to the 120s again. That's my personal opinion. I'm not selling this. Personally, I have a ton of Apple. I am not selling it. I didn't add to it just because I own too much of it. But I'm not selling it. I view this as my piggy bank. And with them talking about VR, with them talking about creating different verticals. My friend sent me a picture that says Apple is more valuable than all of these 10 other S&P companies. And it's like Coke, and I think Exxon was in there and stuff like that. And it's all of them combined. And when you break out the divisions of Apple, like the wearables division, I think Apple would have 5 of the S&P's largest companies if you broke them apart. So they're just a moneymaker. And here you go, increasing one of the verticals with a headset. Here you go. My friend just bought an M2 MacBook Pro. He's getting it today. And the benchmarks on this thing are just incredible. I have the M1. I'm not upgrading because I paid $1,500 for this thing. I could probably pay $1,300 for it today. But I needed it. Got it in last year. And I think it's a good buy. And the M2, just a incredible machine. And these guys continue to put out quality materials, quality devices. So I'm a big believer in Apple. I think Tim Cook is hanging around until they have a car. And I think they're going to put out the specs for the car. And I think Hyundai and stuff like that. And I think you're going to see this back at $200. I think you're going to see it pump. Another one that I hold, which is a big portion of my portfolio, is Amazon, whether it's in ETFs or something of that sort. Amazon's a huge one. I've got Amazon here at $96 right now. You've got a gap down below at about 85, 86. Short term, I'd probably look at that gap. If you're looking long term, add to it. Your earnings are coming up next week, February 2nd. Your RSI is high. It's at 61. The MACD's crossing down. The algorithm had you buy in at 83, which is a great, $13 on an $83 stock. It's a great gain. You don't have a dividend on this. So again, ask yourself, am I holding it long-term? Am I, you had the button hook here. You're starting to get a little button hook here now today. But Again, am I holding this long term or am I holding it short term? In my mind, anything with an 8 handle on this one, great buy. Anything with a 9 handle on this one, you're still fine. SOXL. This is our triple levered look at the semiconductor business. It's been on an absolute tear. Here, the algorithm got you in at $10.17 just on January 4th. That's 20 days ago. You're at $14.30. It's a 40% increase. Just in 20 days, 40% in a triple levered ETF. Great buy. J&J had earnings. This is one that I've told you can just buy. I mean, I just hold it. It's got a decent dividend. Nothing crazy. It's on the downside of the 9-day. It's got this ascending triangle, which it clearly broke. But you're only talking about 178 down to 167. This isn't one that you trade. Their earnings came out. They were okay. Nothing huge. It's down a little bit today, 0.42%. You could pick up some. It's under its 200 day. It's going to be over its 200 day at some point. Again, if you're interested in just long-term boring holdings, I mean, you could buy VOO. You could buy any of those. Vanguard 500. Stay away from the Johnson & Johnson. It's just boring. But it'll make you a good amount of money. It's a good investment. It's better than a savings account. Put it that way. Google, the CEO took it on the chin yesterday when he had an all-employee meeting, and they started bitching and complaining about the way people were let go. I don't think Google did a bad thing. Honestly, I think those people are just whiny. It's an employer. They have a right to employ whoever they want. And they don't owe you anything. And for people to complain, well, people were cut off from access, their managers didn't know. They have 30,000 managers. Imagine including 30,000 people in one decision about who to let go. They went down to, I believe, the director level, which was about 8,000 people. That, to me, is enormous. And if you let anything go about, how many people were being let go, what the determining factor was, you're going to be let go yourself. And you have to cut off people's access. I just went off about it on YouTube. The reality is Google has insights into my life that I don't want somebody stealing, somebody making public, email addresses and things of that sort. I mean, they have a whole host. Imagine if somebody took the authenticator key, out of Google's Google stuff, and they actually got the key so that they could replicate Google Authenticator. They'd have access to my car. So I have a problem with that. I have no problem with them letting people go and basically cutting off access. So 3M, they announced earnings. They're horrible as usual. This company is just poorly run. Super down day on this one. You're down at 115. I think this was caught up in the bad data because the low is 102. The high is 122. But it's down at 115, trading at 115 today. I wouldn't get into this one. General Electric is one that reported. This is interesting because they broke out their healthcare. And ever since they broke out their healthcare, this is one that the algorithm on December 21st got you in at $64. You're at $79 today. It's gone all the way up to 81. You have your button hook. You have your MACD cross down. You have your RSI declining. But the earnings will be a boost on this one, and it probably will continue to grow. This is crazy. Over 1,000 candles, the algorithm makes you 19%. Buying and holding makes you 14%. You have 29 positions. 28% of those are wins. Your average win is 12%. You're just coming off. If you would have bought in the September range when the algorithm said buy, and you had a bunch of gaps up here, you'd have paid $50 for this. The algorithm got you out with a 30% gain, but then you got you right back in at 64 here, and you've got an even bigger gain. That 30% gain was at 66, so you've got another 20% gain on this one. But you're up almost 50%, almost 50% on this one. Well, I should say over 50%, 50 to 70 to 80. You're up over 50. And that's just in a span of 4 months. That's been crazy, crazy good. SPY, by the way, at some point we have to pull back. It just makes sense. We've been on this run ever since the lows of October, where you're at 368. I mean, you've gone all the way up to 404. Yesterday, you closed at 4,000, which was a barrier. Today, you're kind of moving all over the place. You're up 0.21%. It's kind of been bouncing. The market just wants good news. It really wants to think, hey, we're in a good place. Get ready, because if we are in a good place, I can guarantee you the Fed will tell you, well, we're in too good of a place. So we do have some cross-ups. The first one I want to talk about is one that I regret not buying, Costco. It's at 490. It crossed up here at 458. This is a secondary cross-up. You have your ex-dividend date coming up on February 2nd. This is in our core portfolio, and this is one that I should have added at 450. You do have this gap, and this is what gives me hope that we're coming back down. You have this gap between 453 and 461. My absolute fear is that between now, January 24th, and earnings on March 2nd, that for some reason they announce some type of membership increase. If they announce some type of membership increase, this stock will be back over 500. And I continue to say under 500, buy it. Over 500, just sell it or hold on to it. It is expensive. The PE is 37. It's got a super small dividend at 0.73. Year to date, it's up 7%. You're right in the middle of the 52-week range, 406, 612. You're 20% above the low, 20% below the high. You're right in the middle. So I don't blame you. If you want to buy it at 488, add to it, 485, on the way down. What gives me hope is that we're going to fill this gap here between 461 and 455. 461, I'd probably start adding to it. Another one in our core portfolio which crossed up, Simon Property Group. I love this one. I love these malls. Simon Property Malls. I love the malls. This is a secondary cross up. We had this initial one at 117. Again, going back to the September, October lows, this was a $91 stock. You're up, 30% if you just kind of held that one. Now, the algorithm got you out on December 9th with a 28% gain, but you've since moved up. So hopefully you just add that one. This one has a great dividend. I think it's 5%. This one and SKT, Simon Property Group has 5.76%. SKT is Tanger. If you go to other outlets, this is a 4% dividend, and the PE is less. They do have difference in compensation for tenants. Tanger includes, they basically get a portion of the sales. Simon just charges flat out rent, but Tanger has crossed up as well. I just like Simon Property Group better. I think they make a better property management group. Now, Venom or Viper, VNOM is one. It crossed up as well. It's a secondary cross up. You had the initial cross up here back on January 9th at 31.40. I do think at 32, you could probably get 36 out of this one. 35, 36. Their earnings are coming up on February 21st with the rest of the energy sector. Now, Chevron, we have their earnings on Friday. So tomorrow, by the way, we have American Airlines. We have Valero Energy, VLO, which we can take a look at. Let's see what VLO is going into, because they're similar to Venom or Viper. They were caught up in this. They do have confirmation. 127 was the buy-in. You're at 143. You have quite a run on this one. It's super high going into energy, into their earnings tomorrow. So I would expect this one probably to pump up to about 150 or so, just because look at those tops. You have 18%. You have 24%. This is one that makes you 99% in the algorithm with just buying and selling. Buying and holding makes you 153%. That's the energy sector for you. You win 54% of the time. This 127, great buy. Today's a secondary. It could be a secondary cross up here, but you're heading into earnings tomorrow. But VNOM is the one with the cross up. Sorry, not Valero. VNOM. We were just looking at Valero because they report tomorrow. It could be a pop for the entire energy sector if they announce some earnings. Some of our levered ETFs crossed up. You Mary Doctor UMDD. This is one that crossed up. It's a secondary cross up. It's a mid cap 400 levered. This is the cross up here was at 17. You're at $20. It's a nice 20% gain right there. But it's a secondary cross up. The RSI is a little high, so I'd probably wait for that one. URTY, which is the Russell 2000 ultra levered. This one had a buy-in here at 37, and you're trading at 45. Nice 20% gain on that one as well. Still has confirmation. It's a secondary cross up, so you could be looking at kind of an inverse head and shoulders here. A head and shoulders pattern. Here's the shoulder, here's the head, here's the shoulder. Could be looking at that. But URTY, another one that had a Vanguard. This is the mid-cap Vanguard. VO. 205 was the buy-in. This one, with the algorithm, you make 6%. With the actual buying and holding, you make 3.51%. So it's just a steady. I wouldn't say that this is one that you trade. You win 48% of the time, 27 positions. Your average win is 3%. It's probably just a good one to buy and hold. These I use as, hey, is it a good time to enter? VB. This is a secondary cross-up as well. The RSI is a little high. The algorithm got you in at 184. It's at 196 right now. This is a small cap ETF. So, and that's VB. One that I was debating if I would bring up at all is Beyond Meat. And Beyond Meat is just it's a hype play in that I think artificial meat is not, it's getting its due. It's expensive to create. It hasn't found its, place in society yet. They don't know how to sell it. A lot of people just don't know, again, you're better off just buying kind of regular meat, eating lean meats like fish, some chicken, maybe not red meat. The burgers are good. I have them in my freezer. I have Impossible burgers. I don't have Beyond Meat burgers, but they're interchangeable. I don't think they taste any different. But this is a secondary cross-up, and the reason I bring it up is because I do think that you have a reverse head and shoulders here. So you have this little shoulder, you have the head, here's the shoulder, here's the head, and then you have a little shoulder here, which could be a spurt up. Again, you don't have to go far. $16 to $20, that would be a big move of 20%. So I bring it up just because it's crossed its 200-day. The last time it had the golden cross, and then it had the death cross right after it. Had a golden cross here at August 11th. It was selling about $34. It just kept going down with the golden cross. I mean, it didn't even go up. So I just think it's a broken stock. I'm not hugely interested in it. eBay is an interesting one because this has been on a complete tear with Shopify, with Snowflakes, with Roblox, all of those that are in some of the daily stock. I don't have this in the core portfolio, and I maybe should after looking at it. It's been on just a complete tear. The algorithm got you in December 29th at $41. Today you're at $47.19, and you still have confirmation. Now at $47, you could probably go up to 50, from here if we continue this bull run. Again, the S&P doesn't like to be at 4,000, but you can see right here this little dip down. It kind of used the Bollinger Bands, used the 200-day to bounce off of. Well, your Bollinger Bands are all above the 200-day right now. And the only other time that it did that, it was back in November where it hit 46 and then it just completely slid down from here. So you have to decide, okay, is eBay going to continue? They don't have a bad business. It's not making money, but its forward PE is 11. It's got a 1.85% dividend. You're 22% below your 52-week high of 60. And you're getting out of those crazy valuations that we were really in 2021 because you're in 2023 now. So the 52 weeks are coming back down as, maybe realistic expectations. I don't think 60 is in the cards. I do think that 50 could be in the cards on this one. Performance year to date, you're up 15%. So the choice is, did we already hit it? Is this second cross up a spur into earnings, which come up on February 22nd? The MACD is a little bit high. The RSI is high. But again, if you're looking long-term, I just think that eBay, when you look at it from a weekly standpoint here, you're back down to kind of where you were right after the pandemic. And you have a good enough volume shelf that your bottom is probably 41. So you haven't reached your 200-day on the weekly yet. So you still have a good way to go to get up to your highs of 74, 77. So I thought I'd bring it up. If you have any questions, we're in a short squeeze situation right now where you're looking at probably several of these stocks being good short-term bets, and that's all they are is bets. GNS, INBS, FFIE, Mullen, hlbz, Bed Bath & Beyond, all of them are probably decent bets. So don't throw the house, the mortgage money at it. But take $50. Maybe you make $50. Maybe it pays for your lunch next week. It's probably not a bad bet. Crypto, Mara is back up at $9.04. This one has just been a monster. I think that one is probably a decent bet at this point because when we look at it, it's just reached its 200-day. Last time every time it reaches its 200-day, it goes up a little bit more from like $14 to $17, which again is a 10% gain. So you've reached your 200-day. And then here from 11 to 14. The last time here from 10 to 13, from 10 to 15. So it's not out of the question that you go from 9 up to 15 or 11. Just 9 to 11 is a great gain. So pick your bet. In my mind, I think Mara's a better bet than some of these short squeezes because Mara's just betting on the crypto stuff. But make no mistake, there is a chance next week that the Fed says, you know what? 25 basis point isn't enough. We're still seeing some betting in the market. We're seeing crypto creep up. Let's go 50 basis points. See what happens. But there is a chance that they break something in the economy. So at some point, they're going to halt, and you'll see the stock market just tear up. I think you'll go from 400 on the SPY up to 440, which is a great move. And if you can time it that way, great. But I think at some point, you get back down to about 370 on SPY. So be careful. Again, my thing is... don't always take profits in some of the names that you want long-term. Make sure that you've got things that are identified as long-term and you make good, sound decisions on when to get in. Don't freak out. Look at the weekly charts. Look at the monthly charts. Look at the daily charts. Decide what kind of investment you want to make and make a plan and stick to it. Okay, I am done. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. We'll see some of our earnings plays tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to Chevron on Friday, to be honest with you. But Microsoft today after the bell, that'll be big. That'll be real big. I think that'll give a good indication as to whether you get back into some of the tech stocks. Okay, take care. See ya. Okay, share. Export song to disk. Export. Okay, I'm going back to Active Trader Pro. Did I miss? I'm going to go and look at GNS. Did I miss the pump? 485, I think, was where it was at. I missed the pump. I missed the pump. Got up to 532. Who's in? Bed Bath & Beyond is up 50 cents. Let's see, INBS. INBS is losing. Although it's up 17% today. Still up 17%. Carvana. Carvana is down 1%. Let's look at hlbz. hlbz getting ready to be squeezed. Let's see. Up 18%. This is what's crazy is, look, at 12:30, it says only 2% of the shares are shorted. And they're still putting out freaking 1,300 pre-orders, generating over $2.2 million in future sales. The fuck, man? They're still pumping their business. This ain't no business. This is short squeeze, dude. Wisa. 17%. The volume's not the volume that we had just 2 days ago. This one's losing interest. hlbz, you can take a look at the volume pump in hlbz. Yesterday it kind of died down, but look at that afternoon. I mean, that afternoon was big. And then you look at INBS. And see, look at the volume yesterday, but you just don't have the volume to support it today. Even though it's up 18%. GNS. You didn't have the volume yesterday, but the afternoon volume kind of pushed it up like that. Oh, let me go to Anchor. I'm going to be here till 11 again. Bum, bum, bum. Today's Tuesday. Brittany, bitch, you were in charge of Tom Tuesdays. Episodes. New episode. Can't get above that 506, it looks like. I had romaine lettuce last night. Anybody that watches CNBC knows that annoying jet commercial where John Elway is the savior of this little kid on a private fucking jet. What a douche. Quick Garage Band. Save. Browse. Podcast 124. Yep. Upload. We're going to insert A transition. Hit the vape, bro. Patched in. Is this one? I like that one. That's a good vibe for the day. Insert ad. Processing. I will be right back. Just listening to Bob Pisani about what happened in the open. It looks like buy and sell orders were dismantled, and they're still waiting for an explanation. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Because like Walmart, I guess, closed at 142 and its open price was 159. So it didn't all go down. There were some that went up. And that's kind of nuts, if you will. It's not right, but I'm still sponsored by Carvana. Let's see. $124.23 market update. And I've got all the dollar signs in there already. I did that very well today, so I don't have to do that. We'll take this and put this. I think there were a lot of people, and that's what Bob Bassani is saying. Some of these orders, Mike, actually went through. For instance, Walmart, and he's bringing it up. There are some traders that have reached out to him and said, my order for $159 on Walmart went through. And so somebody bought, and this is a great point. And somebody asked me, I think it was, I have to write this down at notes. But somebody asked me, why shouldn't I just put a market order in? Well, this is why. This is 100% why you don't put a market order in, is because my guess is these are institutional traders who are putting in buy orders at market open, because sometimes you're limited from if you're at a trading desk, you have to put a market order in. You can't put a limit order in because you can't, quote unquote, chase it all day. And so it's interesting because I bet some of these people will not wind up getting their trades back. They're going to get screwed. Let's see. We can take this out. Let's just X. And we'll take this. We'll tweet that. Boom, boom, boom. Then we're going to Twitter again. And we'll put in our triple levered ETFs. SPY, TQQQ, SQQQ, QQQ, Boyle, KOLD, UCO, SCO. And then I'm going to take this and put in Tesla, Snow, RBLX, BBBY, BXRX. I had SOXL in there. AMD. I had Amazon in there. NVIDIA. Neo. Verizon I had in there. XU, TSLL. We'll take one out. And I think that's it. Boom, boom, boom. Tweet. Okay. Why do I have 4 notifications? Is Tom messaging me on Twitter again? FFIE. So this is funny here. I'll show you guys. Let me get out of Anchor. Hold on. I want to see how much money I have in this. View earnings. Let me see what this says. Log in. Now it's going to alert me. You've logged in somewhere. Dashboard. Settings. I've got my routing number in there. Okay. I guess that's right. Automated ads. I'm currently receiving money from Anchor. What will Tom's Tuesday is going to have to come on Wednesday, dudes. I just uploaded the episode. Okay, that's interesting. Hold on. Spotify. There we go. Now let's see. Your dashboard. Let me see. Catalog. I only have one in my Spotify thing. I need to claim my other podcast. Huh. 87% male, 10% female, 3% not specified, and 0.2% non-binary. That is my listenership, I think, in the last 7 days. Yeah, last 7 days. It's crazy how different days get different metrics. FFIE. Geek Sports. Who's Geek Sports CS? He's got some followers. He's looking at FFIE. He likes $5 for FFIE. How can you like at $5 for FFIE? God, look at GNS, man. Why am I not in on this? Because once it got its confirmation, I didn't decided that it ran too much. Got to 550. And it's at 525. But that volume pump in the last candle, look at that. Let's go to... Okay, if you are not in the private Facebook group, it's private. Just ask to be part of it. Corruption being organized. It's not half of the stocks halted. I think it was like 10. Daily stock picks, let's see. Tom says TLT, UDN, GOLD, and NUGT. He's buying these at open. So let's look at TLT. This is it's boring. It's gone from 105 to 106. It's up 1% today. 105.39 is the low. Yeah, that's okay. Safari. We'll go over here. TLT. If you're not part of that group, just go to it. There's a link in the link tree. By the way, the 14 people who are watching, you better have hit the like button. TLT, 103 was the buy. I think you're extended at this point. I mean, you can see, why would you buy it? This is a decaying asset. This is 100% a decaying asset. Weekly. I mean, if you want to buy it and you want to hold it for a little while, I just don't see anything exciting about this one. Here is COVID, March 2020. This candle alone traded at 0.59%. 130. Well, it's more than that. I don't know why it's calculated at 0.59. Maybe there's a bad candle in there. This is a weekly candle. 7% within a week during COVID. Great. Most of these are less than 1% per week. I mean, you're coming off the bottom here at 92. You have the confirmation above there. Bollinger Bands are kind of syncing up. Probably not a bad play. The volume's increasing. No, the RSI's in no man's land. If I pull this back to the highs here of December 2021, there's a volume shelf here at 114, 117. Maybe it hits that, but it looks like it's capitulating around this volume shelf between 104 and 108. Honestly, I'll put my money in a 4% savings account with Fidelity. UDN, bearish US dollar. Let's look at UDN. I think this is a decaying asset as well. Invesco. 4-hour candles are less than 1%. 1859 was the buy. 1877 at today. Over 1,000 candles, you lose 13% on this. The algorithm loses you 5%. Your average win is 1%. You win 30% of the time. I don't know that I necessarily think that this is look at a weekly candle. It's a decaying asset. I mean, it's just going to decay. You could come up to this 200 at 20, but why not buy something that's actually worth something, like Cleveland Cliffs at 20? That this one you have an opportunity to get to 25. This isn't a decaying asset. This one's actually an asset that grows. So you're hovering right around this, 14. If you get to 14 at the 200 day, I mean, shit, you're golden on this one. This one's had quite a run. Let's look at his third one, GOLD and UGT. These are, GOLD is Barrick Gold. They hold gold, but I do think that their asset decays as well. I think they may buy and hold gold though. Let's see. GOLD. Barrick Gold, your PE is, they're a miner. Yeah, they're engages in the exploration. Yeah, miner. So this is not a bad one. 18 PE. It's a little bit expensive. Forward PE of 24. 2% dividend. This is better than TLT, which is a 2.51% dividend, but it's decaying. Year to date, it's up 6%. UDN has a 0.68% dividend. It's up 1%. GOLD is not bad, though. That's a good hedge. Earnings per share this year expected to decline 13%. Your 52-week high is 25. The algorithm, let's see. Let's run the algorithm. It's not super low. I mean, it got you in at 15 and you're at 19 now. Yeah. I mean, you could do that too. I mean, buying and storing physical gold is a little bit harder than just buying the stock, but gold miners will typically return a little bit more than just buying gold. But what is this other one? NUGT, which I think is another miner. This is the bull, 2 times bull. It's a decaying asset because it's 2 times. You can trade it. It's super high, though. I mean, that RSI is at 65. I'm not sure why you'd buy it here. But I think they do pay a dividend, if I'm not mistaken, 0.55. But year to date, 26% on this one. I mean, you're up 26%. It just seems like an extended trade. So, is that Tom's Tuesday? Let's see. Whoa, Tom got wordy. Federal Reserve is backing off rate increase. Bonds sold off when rate increases were implemented last year. At the outset of the rate increases, I actually shorted treasuries, TTT, and did that for like 6 months and made out like a bandit. Similarly, I bought the UUP fund back in March and did very well. The Fed has stated they are absolutely 101 not decrease rates this year. That will still drastically impact companies that are still on growth mode. People I know I do at least are resistant to change, Apple said. Its stock. Good analysis. Wrote a lot. Let's see. In our core portfolio, Apple is up. Bank of America is up a good amount, 1.36%. PanW's up. Qualcomm, man, this is a monster stock. Qualcomm is. Walmart's up slightly. Overall, you're going to be down. Cleveland Cliffs is down almost 2%. Looks like Materials. Oxy is down 2% at 65. Pfizer is down to 44. God, this is a stock that can't get out of its own freaking way. I mean, look at that slide from 52. I mean, this is a mainstay, and you do want to have it in your portfolio, but their dividend is coming up on January 26th. They pay a decent dividend, nothing crazy, and their earnings are coming up January 30th. But they've already said, hey, governments will not be buying the vaccine. So QCLN is down 1.36%. Shopify is down 1.3%. Snowflake's down at 147. Simon Property Group is up. Target is down slightly. Tesla is up. Tesla's getting that long trail that I kind of like to see, but I'm still. I mean, at 120, I said, I don't know, man. It looks a little extended, and then up here, yeah. Yeah. Christian, I may be, gold has been a good tool against some of the monetary policies that we have not liked to see governments play. I think between fees and I just think you're right. If you're that bullish on gold, I'd probably move to just go into the jewelry store and buy freaking gold. GNS is on this run. It's still got confirmation, and it's putting in this shelf here. It's got this volume shelf here at 504. I'm almost afraid to buy it over $5 though. But yesterday's range was, let's see. Yesterday it traded up to $6.28. Now, if we look at Faraday, this was at 102. It's at 108. And this is at its high of the day. Its high of the day was 110. But it's still above that 9-day. It's putting in this shelf at 104. It's crazy. Okay. 11 o'clock, your boy's got to go for his 7-mile walk. Hey, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. If you guys have any questions, join the private Facebook group. That's probably one of the best ways to get in touch with me. Or Instagram. If you go to Linktree, let's see. I will put the Linktree in the copy. And then we'll paste. There is the pin message. There is the link tree that you can go to, and if you go there, go to site. We'll just go to the site. This is what you come up with. And see that little Facebook right there? That leads you to the private Facebook group. This leads you to the Twitter. This leads you to the Instagram. This leads you to the YouTube. Leads you to the Twitch, which I don't typically use. This is Spotify. That's Apple Podcast. That's to tip me or give me a gift. I changed it based on IRS. If you'll see, I say gift me with Venmo. Sign up for Venmo. Gift me with PayPal. Gift me with Cash App. I should move those up. But you can gift me with any one of those. You can listen here. Here's the Daily Stock Picks podcast homepage that leads you to Anchor. Twitter, view charts, Instagram, Daily Stock Picks, podcast Apple, other podcasts I listen to. I need to take that one off because I don't even use Good Pods anymore. But these are the links. The main links are up here. If you want to tip me, you're down here. So Visible, if you want to sign up for Visible service. I love Visible service. Just use that. You get $20. I get $20, $30 a month. Unlimited for $30 a month. I can't believe that people still pay like $70 for your phone service. But if you want to sign up for TrendSpider, it's up here. 25% off. Use DSP25 to get 25% off. You can get a free trial. Here's the plans and pricing. You need the elite service to get my algorithm, but the watch lists and stuff like that you can get on the premium as well. Again, 25% off you can get. Or you can just sign up monthly. Here's everything that you get with TrendSpider. Trading bots. 3. I don't even use the bots. I do use the workspaces. I test different strategies. Minute scanner time frame, 1 minute, 1 day and up. Market scanner, back testing. You don't get any back testing there. That's where the stuff is. So I think elite, if you're going to, and don't sign up for this if you're just going to trade a couple of times a week. I buy it because I feel naked without it. Honest to God, I feel naked trading without it. Market's turning around. The Dow is actually positive, and the NASDAQ is positive. S&P is kind of flat. We're at 4,018. So it's turning. It's turning. Faraday's up at day's high. GNS is down at GSN. I should say GNS. Why do I keep doing that? I'm over here on Active Trader Pro, and I do have to go. 5:10. I may watch this one for a little bit. I am out of here. And yeah, Brandon, I love TrendSpider. TrendSpider is awesome. I mean, there's so many tools that I don't use in TrendSpider, but if I get in the trading mood, I do use it. And what I don't want to do is go live every time I'm trading and stuff and have you guys rely on me, because that's no fun. I want you guys to learn the whole part of this experience is that you guys learn, not that you guys buy a service that, I get compensated for. It's that you learn. LGMK. What's LGMK? Let's take a look. Issuer declared to Logic Mark. Let's see. See if there's any news. Oh, they're issuing stock. So, public offering of 10 million units, 3 million warrants, public offering price of 37 cents a share, minus 1 cent. Has also granted the underwriters an option to purchase in any combination an additional 1.5 million shares of common stock, additional pre-funded warrants of 516. The offering is expected to close January 25th. So they're issuing stock at 37 cents a share here. I just went over to FinViz, and I'm on FinViz, and it says first article, January 23rd, Global Newswire. They're issuing stock at 37 cents. They seem to have a buyer at 37 cents. But the market doesn't believe it went. I mean, the second that was announced at 36, somebody bought it at 37. And now the stock's at 21. They're just doing what AMC, GameStop, what, Faraday, what GNS. I mean, GNS is at 480 now. They're doing what those guys should be doing, which is issuing stock. Yeah, 481. These guys should be issuing stock because they're up at that price. But the second they issue more stock, they then give the short sellers stocks to buy. So you're kind of in a catch 22, catch 52, whatever it is. I don't know which one it is. But yeah, that's what's going on there is they're basically giving themselves more capital, $5 million of more capital. And if you look, balance sheet, let's look at their liabilities. Oh, I can't see the specifics. They don't have any debt, but they do have they're not making money. Nope. They're losing money. That's not going to make them a lot. Yeah, they're just issuing stock. That's all it is, Christian. If you go back and look there yesterday, LGMK, they announced early in the morning, looks like it was at 8:30 p.m. last night. 8:30 p.m. last night, market was closed. So the second it opened up today, just dropped. And it's 37 cents. It dropped 10 cents. I don't know what the 10 cents logic was, but that's what the market thinks they're now worth. And then it goes down to 21 cents. So it's down 40%. Now, this is one where you could probably, here, Bazinga, Wide logic mark is falling 40%. Shares are trading lower by 30, priced 10.5 million share underwriting at 37 cents per unit. Says gross proceeds before deducting underwriting discounts and commissions and estimated offering expense are expected to be 5.2 million. The offering is expected to close January 25th. According to data from Bazinga, has a 52-week high of 319 and a 52-week low of 22 cents. And it's below that 52-week. They're basically issuing more stock to try and grab a lifeline to not go out of business. And then what you'll see is probably a reverse split, 10 for 1, so they're back up above $1 so they can stay listed. Keep your eye on it if you want to, but that's kind of the gameplay. They're just not making money. It's simple as that. It's just not a business. And they don't have a huge short interest, but my guess is if you put out a, hey, we're going to go after the short sellers press release right after you do this, maybe they'll pop. That seems to be a good gameplay these days. Okay. I'm out of here. I will talk to you.